Hello everyone, once again I'm Joy and welcome to our channel. This is the second part of my video about redundancy, but I'll be capitalizing on the meaning of fossilized errors and I'll be presenting ways on how to avoid them. Again, as I mentioned in my previous video, redundancy, or technically known as pleonasm, is the use of more words than necessary in both oral and written communication. So when somebody says, "A pleasant good morning to each and every one," that sounds correct because many are actually using that, but if we try to take a look at it closely, when we speak of pleasant and good, they mean the same thing. Each and every one, they also mean the same thing. So to correct that, we could only say a pleasant morning to each one, or good morning to everyone. Another, we also make use of expressions first priority, first and foremost. It should only be first or should only be foremost. First priority should not be put together because priority is always the top. It's actually on the top of the list, So if it's the first priority, that particular thing is the first thing to be considered. So you would only say, "He is," or "that is my priority." Another, we also are fond of using expressions like 3 a.m. in the morning or 3 p.m. in the afternoon, 12 midnight or 12 noon. These are as well pleonasms. Because when you speak of 3 a.m., a.m. already means morning, p.m. already means in the afternoon, and if it's midnight or noon, laging 12 o'clock sharp naman po talaga siya. Tapos, sa ating mga teachers, we always use this when we are explaining and enumerating examples sa harap ng klase natin. Kapag sinasabi po natin, okay, these are like, for example, like for instance, yung mga ganong expressions. So, it should only be like, and then you enumerate the examples, or it should be for instance, or for example, and then you enumerate the examples. We also have expressions like enter in, or come on, enter in the gym. Okay? Because enter in should not be put together. Because in is a preposition that means inside. Okay? So, kapag ginamit mo po ang enter, it's just right to just say, "Please enter the gym, enter the chapel, but not enter in the gym." Okay? You also have, we also use as a question. May I ask a question, sir or ma'am? Questions are always meant to be asked. So you'd only say, "I would like to ask something," or "I would like to raise a question." We also have discuss about. Today, I will discuss about the fossilized errors. Okay? Discuss about must not be put together. You will only say discuss the fossilized errors. Okay, these and more are examples of redundant expressions. I cannot enumerate all of them. If you would want to share your the redundant expressions that you know and that people are using, please feel free to comment or to leave a message in the comment section so that others as well could read it and be informed about it. Okay? So, gusto ko na rin po palang i-correct yung pag sinasabi natin sa Facebook na "Thank you for being the best girlfriend in the world." Okay? So, kasi, technically speaking, saka mo lang pwedeng gamitin yung term na best kapag ka meron kang 3 or more na pinagkukumparahan. So, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na best girlfriend na siya kung since birth, siya lang naman yung naging girlfriend mo. So, wala kang pwedeng pagkumparahan sa kanya. Though I understand the point that you would want to emphasize the good qualities of this person, but like what I said, technically speaking, it would be ungrammatical. Now, dito pumapasok yung tinatawag nating quality versus quantity, diba? Minsan madalas pinipili natin ang quality over quantity, but we forget the fact that before you could have quality, there must be quantity. So you cannot claim that this pencil is the best pencil, the best brand of pencil, if you do not have quality, if you did not experience using 3 or more other brands of pencil. You cannot say that your father is the best father in the world because you only have one father lang naman. So, wala kang pwedeng pagkumparahan. Ito, tsaka yung mga una kong mga na-mentions na mga expressions are examples of fossilized errors. At ang fossilized errors ay madalas nakakommit of people who are non-native speakers of English, like us. Tayo po, because we are Filipinos, and that our first language is Filipino, and that English is not our mother tongue, we frequently commit these fossilized errors. Bakit nga ba siya tinawag na fossilized errors? Ito yung mga errors na pinagtibay na ng panahon. Ito yung mga ginamit na noong unang panahon pero ginagamit pa rin siya magpahanggang ngayon. That is why these errors naging parte na sila ng buhay natin. They become a part of us. They are ingrained in our system. They became part of our nature. And so it's so difficult to get over them. That is why even our English teachers would tell us, would reiterate that this one is wrong, do not use that. But because you're used to using them, diba? We still find difficulty ignoring them. Kumbaga, in analogy, it's like, you know, loving the wrong person over and over. Yung kahit na paulit-ulit kanyang niloloko na, but because loving the person becomes part of you, loving the person becomes part of your nature, you still keep on loving him. Okay? Because despite the feedback na sinasabi ng mga tao, tigilan mo na yan, niloloko ka lang niya, hindi ka nakikinig sa kanila. Because despite the truth, you still choose to believe in lies. That is an example of a fossilized mistake. But how can we get away from all of this? Una, there must be awareness. Okay? We have to be aware of the fact that we still have a lot of things to learn. We have to be open sa fact that our communication skills must be developed. Okay? Dapat alam natin kung saan tayo nagkakamali, kung ano yung mga ginagamit nating pagkakamali, at kung paano nga ba ito i-correct. Because if we are not open to such, then we will never become better in our communication. Now, the second, after being aware of all our mistakes, then we have to be open for correction. Self-correction is okay, but if you think you cannot do it, you can always ask other people to correct you. You can always ask feedback, constructive feedback from people around you. You know, there is nothing wrong or there's nothing shameful about needing to be corrected. Okay? Sa totoo, it takes guts, you know, to ask correction from other people, to ask feedback from other people. But if there is someone who would correct you, if there is someone who figures out your mistake, and if this someone figures out your mistake because he wants you to learn, okay, then you have to be thankful. If there's someone who tells you it's wrong, no matter how painful it is, you have to be thankful. Because, you know, the correction that hurts you the most is actually the correction that you need the most. So even if you think you are very good already, no matter how intelligent you think you are, no matter how experienced you think you are, and no matter how expert you think you are in this particular field, you still need correction. You still need feedback because no one is perfect. Okay? You are not perfect. And so you need other people to become better. Alright? So after that, there is already awareness, you ask your other people to correct you, then the next thing that you have to do now is, you know, to practice. Diba? We always claim that practice makes us perfect, but that is not accurate these days. Because hindi naman po talaga tayo nagiging perfect pag nagpa-practice tayo, though we become better at what we are practicing. But the more accurate expression, I believe, today is practice makes permanent. Because if we keep on practicing something regularly, that something becomes a habit. At nagiging permanent siya in the long run. So kapag lagi nating pinapractice na magsalita sa harap ng salamin gamit ang English, kinokorek natin yung sarili nating pagkakamali, we try to apply all the rules that we learn from videos like this or from our teachers, then eventually that becomes a part of us, that becomes a habit. And because that is a habit already, then parang pag narinig mo na yung expression, fossilized error na ginagamit ng tao sa paligid mo, you are already aware, oh, I should not be using that because that is wrong. And this would actually lead you to becoming effective communicators of language that would lead you to becoming better speakers of the language. Okay, and so another thing that is very important is that there must be willingness as well. Because no matter what people say, no matter what your teachers would say, if you are not willing to learn and if you are not willing to grow, then nothing will happen. So let's just continue to be desirous to be better, because we all can. Thank you, and see you next time.